third one, and I do have some responses. To be very honest, when I got the schedule for this keynote, I was a little jittery. And I'll give you the reason for that. So just before this conference started, I was talking to one of the associates here. And he happened to ask me, how did you enter this industry? How did you start off? Because I'm an MBA in finance, an investment banker, accidentally landed into education. And I'll give you the reason why I was jittery. Because it's always difficult to fill into your teacher's shoes. And I wish Lena was around. She had to catch a flight, so she's left. But I'll definitely send this recording to her. So let me tell you, for the people who are probably listening to me for the first time, I happen to be a proud student of Lena Ashik, whom you just heard.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and that's the reason. I'm sure you all can understand why it's so jittery to stand here right after Lena. Two reasons. It's impossible to fill into her shoes for the work that she's done. And second, anything and everything that I'm going to speak is probably a recap of exactly what you've heard of, maybe a very small part of it. Yeah. But I'll still try and do justice to it because I started my journey in education space with Lena way back in 2011. From that day on, where I was assisting Lena to building my own company and establishing some 25-30 schools across India in the last 1 decade, I think the entire credit goes to her. Anything and everything that I know about education is because of her. So, a tribute to her next 5 minutes. Are we scared of embracing the inevitable change? So, what I'm talking about is exactly what Lena probably talked about in the last 10 minutes or so. The inevitable change. I think we all have been witness to this change in the last 2-3 years of COVID. We are talking about technology left, right, and center. We are talking about the change in the 21st century skills which are there. So what is this change that we're talking about? It's the advent of this century. I think we all have embraced the fact that education is changing. The classrooms are no longer the same as they were when we were in schools, or maybe what we've seen in the last 2 decades or so. And I think they're changing rapidly than ever before. Yeah, maybe all the teachers, of course, deserve a great kudos for whatever is achieved in the last 2 years or so. But that COVID push is something which has put us into a different bandwidth altogether. It's something which has taken us into a completely different domain as educators and maybe as school leaders. So what has changed? Now I have 4 questions. I don't have the yes and no boards here, but let me do a quick show of hands. If your answer is yes, please raise your right hand. If your answer is no, please raise your left hand. So is the teacher the most knowledgeable person in the classroom these days? I have a lot of left hands, right? The next one. Is the textbook most reliable source of information these days? I'm sure the left hand again goes up. The third one. Does the report card guarantee a successful career in life? The answer is once again no. And now comes the audacious question. If the answer to all the other questions is no, then I want each one of you to answer it for yourself. Are we doing enough to address these changes? Are we still into the same system? I'm sure Majla ma'am will have great words to add up. I would definitely want a great discourse. I know I'm opening a Pandora's box, but believe me, this has been my thought process as a student of Lena and maybe as a student of education. This is what I talk to my parents about, this is what I talk to my teachers about, this is what I talk to my principals about. We need to start thinking differently. And that differently took me to the Google God, where I said, okay, if I need to embark on a journey of 21st century skills, what are the skills that are needed? And believe me, this is an answer which you will get and I will get, and probably we'll discuss these things in almost 100 plus conferences that we've been a part of. And the first 4 words that come across is basically what you call the 4 C's of things: curiosity, collaboration, creative thinking, and critical thinking. Now, I don't want to elaborate anything on this. I'm sure I'm talking amongst a great audience of august educationists. But as a student, as a school leader, I think what I want to answer is this. This is a video that Lena shared with me 12 years ago. And believe me, we had a half-an-hour session. She explained us how schools kill creativity. I'm sure this video has already been seen and watched almost 7 crore 58 flat views on this, and that tells you how students kill creativity. Now, of course, I'm not blaming anyone. There is no one who can probably be held responsible and accountable for it. We've probably done it in a very subconscious way without realizing that we're doing it. Yeah. So we all realize that creativity is needed, but we still are bounded by the boundaries of the textbooks, the boundaries of the syllabus, the boundaries of certain classrooms, and maybe whatever are the prescriptions we definitely have from CBSE, etc. The next part which came to was the importance of communication. We all know what is the importance of communication, but how much are we nurturing it? Are we giving it more importance than the algebraic expressions and the Pythagoras theorems of the world? That is what is the next important question. Where exactly is this importance taking us? Is it helping us shaping the career? Is it helping us manage the crisis? Is it helping us do more collaboration? Is it helping us meeting more objectives of the organizations of 21st century? The last part, which is the importance of the management, whether it is the interpersonal roles or the intrapersonal roles, both are making impact on the decision-making processes across the world and across the organizations in this part. And that, believe me, is the role of an educator today. It's no longer information dissemination. It's no longer the subjects and the topics and the chapters that we teach. Collaboration, now think of it. Imagine the jobs of tomorrow. Whether we're talking about a software developer, whether we're talking about a digital marketer, whether we're talking about a blogger, a YouTuber, an AI data scientist, or maybe a UX designer. None of these jobs are possible without involving a team of 5 people. So if you don't know how to manage a team, if you don't know how to be a part of a team, if you don't know how to become a leader of a team, I think there is a problem. And believe me, these traits are the ones to be nurtured at the foundation years itself when children are in school. The last part, the critical thinking. Now, in one of my previous keynotes with Eldrok itself, I talked about the impact of world of ChatGPT. How many of you are using ChatGPT? Come across has used it. What is the most critical thing that you need, most critical skill that you need to use ChatGPT?
Input.
Yeah?
How to input.
And how do you do that? The most important part. It's the ChatGPT is a tool that has an ability to answer every question. But believe me, it's in our hands to make the children nurture in a way with an ability to ask the right question. If that's not happening, ChatGPT is the most useless tool ever created. Yeah, I have heard of something called as prompt engineers. So I did a complete keynote speech on one of the Eldrok platforms on prompt engineering. And that is where asking the right questions. People are being paid lakhs and lakhs and crores to become the prompt engineer. That's the most sought after job globally today. But if you simplify that word, what is a prompt engineer? It's nothing but the person who's asking the right question. So if we can make our kids ask the right question, something that I was talking about, be curious, ask the right question, and that's where you are. So that to me is basically the essence of being pedestrians, the essence of dropping that scare of anything that we're doing in this world. We have the responsibility and we have the opportunity to nurture the next generation in this 21st century world. And I'm sure we would want to shed that scare and embrace the change. There are thoughts that we are working with. I've been working, even today I'm working very closely with Nina. We've worked on ideas like drop-in textbooks. We've worked on ideas like blending subjects. We've worked on ideas like moving completely to iPad. We've worked on ideas like every child having a device, embracing the most highest possible technology in the world. And we worked on ideas like being most creative in asking the right question and creating the right way of learning. So to me, that is the real essence of teacher. You might have heard of a dear friend of mine called Vardhan Kabra. Vardhan has recently written a book which talks about Indian education doesn't need a reform, it needs a revolution. So we need to shed those things. That is exactly what is the essence of that book, and that's a great learning, I think, for all of us. And with that thought, I leave all of you for a great session and a great day ahead. Thank you so much for the patience of this.
Thank you, Sudhir sir. Now I would like to invite on stage Mr. Ranjit Kumar, Head of Operations, SchoolCampus.com, to felicitate sir.